Did we get? All right, it is 6 p.m.-ish. We do have quorum. I'm going to go ahead and call this evening's meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals for the City of Florence to order. Before we get started, I do want to thank Ms. Moses for her years of service on the Board of Zoning Appeals. Tonight is her last meeting. So everybody tell her thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. And also want to remind everybody that this is aired live on YouTube, so you will be on camera. So sit up straight, suck in those tummies, and look good. We'll get along just fine. First items on this evening's agenda is approval of the minutes from the May meeting. Minutes have been submitted to members of the board in ample time to review. Are there any changes or amendments to those minutes? There being none, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries, minutes are approved. Next item on this evening's agenda is BZA hearing number 2026-10. It's a request for a variance from the minimum lot required for new parcels. Location is 3801 Breckenridge Circle, tax map number 00153-01-163. Owner of record is Maria Toledo. Applicant is Maria Toledo. The zoning district is NC 15. The board will now hear from city staff.
There we go. Good evening. This concerns a parcel on the edge of Breckenridge Circle at the corner of Green Acres Road. It is the only parcel within the South Oak subdivision that is in the city limits. I did try to find when it was annexed, and I could not find out, so it's been some time, at least 9 or 10 years. This is a close-up of it. It was a wooded lot, and most of the other lots in this subdivision have been developed, but a lot of them I found was way back in the 1980s was when it got laid out initially. Here it is, it's zoned NC 15, which is the largest lot size in the city of Florence, with a minimum lot size required of 15,000 square feet and street frontage of 100 feet. This is the request. This is the plat that the applicant, they wish to subdivide this lot into 2 parcels, and it is just under the required 30,000 square feet. The way according to the zoning code, they could subdivide it into lot 21A, but 21B is just under the required 15,000 square feet. So that's why they're here, is for a variance. It does have about 125 feet of frontage on Green Acres Road, so they don't need a variance on street frontage, just on the area, and just on the area on that one parcel. This comes from the Unified Development Ordinance, where again, the District NC 15 minimum lot area for new lots is 15,000 square feet. And the setbacks for houses in the NC 15 are 15 feet on the front, 15 feet, or 25 feet on the front, 15 feet on the street side, 10 feet on the interior side, and 30 feet in the rear. And so any houses that would be built on these 2 parcels would have to meet those minimum setbacks. This is the original subdivision lot layout for South Oak subdivision. The parcel in question is in red at the bottom of the picture, but as you can see, they are all, the lots in the subdivision along Breckenridge Circle there are very uniform in size, and off to the left they get a little bit larger, but there's nothing smaller. So the issues to be considered, the applicant submitted their answers to the question that there are extraordinary exceptional conditions pertaining to that particular property. Their answer was access to road frontage. I think they meant that that particular lot has access to road frontage because it's a corner parcel. These conditions don't generally apply to other property, as shown by lot 20 on the plat, which is the lot just to the south of it. Because of these conditions, the application of the ordinance at property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property. The property would only qualify for 1 home facing Breckenridge Circle instead of having 2 single-family homes. And authorization of the variance would not be of substantial detriment to adjacent property or the public good, and the character would not be harmed by granting the variance for the reason that that way there would be no need to share entrances or use adjacent property for access. So the findings of fact, staff comments on those, that a variance from the terms of the ordinance will or will not be contrary to the public interest. This lot is part of an established subdivision intended to have one large house on a minimum 2/3 acre parcel. And enforcing the ordinance just prevents the applicant from subdividing the lot and constructing two houses. That the spirit of the Unified Development Ordinance will or will not be observed. The intent of the lot area and width minimum requirements in the code for any particular zoning district is to ensure uniformity of lot sizes throughout a neighborhood to prevent overcrowding and preserve character. Granting this variance would result in two lots that are denser than the neighborhood as a whole because this parcel is part of an established subdivision. That there are or are not extraordinary exceptional conditions. This parcel was laid out as part of the South Oak subdivision in the 1980s, and it is the same size as pretty much every other lot on this street that was laid out at the same time. And that these conditions do or do not generally apply to other property. All the lots in this subdivision are at least 29,000 square feet in area and contain only one large single-family house. That because these conditions, the application of the Unified Development Ordinance to this property would or would not prohibit or restrict the utilization of the property. Application of the lot area requirement to the request does maintain the character and standard of one house per lot in keeping with the original intent of the development of which it is a part. And that the authorization of a variance will or will not be a substantial detriment and the character of the district would or would not be harmed. Our comment was that the overarching character of the neighborhood is that of large lots with large single-family houses. Two smaller houses on two parcels that are half the size of the other lots in the subdivision would be out of character for that subdivision. So we have received a petition of opposition with 26 signatures on it. The main concerns expressed by the neighbors was that there are no unique physical hardship existing. The parcel doesn't have anything particular to it that prevents its standard use as a single-family site. Economic gain is not grounds for a variance, and that is true under South Carolina state law. The desire to maximize profits does not constitute a hardship. And detriment to public good, they feel that approving the variance would alter the neighborhood character with the spatial layout of the properties, would devalue properties and set a bad precedent for future piecemeal subdivisions, and result in a loss of privacy that would impact the daily lives and well-being of longtime residents bordering this property. I also received a letter of opposition from the neighbor directly across Green Acres, who would be directly affected by two houses here as well. And he wanted me to read it. He said, "Dear board members, my wife and I are submitting this letter in opposition of granting the variance for the property located at 3801 Breckenridge Circle for the following reasons. The request does not meet the physical hardship minimum standard. The lot is level, not in a flood zone, and has no topographical encumbrances to prevent the intended use of a single-family home being built. The applicant's request, if granted, would add two driveways within a span of 275 feet. We submit with the existing homes and residences being built on the north side of Green Acres Road, the existing curve on Green Acres just past proposed Lot 21B, and the number of young people who attend the local public schools living in residence along Green Acre Road, the potential for serious, even catastrophic traffic accidents will increase exponentially. South Oak 2 subdivision lots are significantly larger, minimum 20,000 square feet, than the proposed lots the applicant is applying for variance. This will assuredly negatively impact the home values of every surrounding home or property. This in turn will negatively impact property taxes to be collected. Thank you for taking the time to read and hear what they want to say." And these are some photos of the parcel. We did not receive any applications for permits or anything, and there were several, two building pads were built up on it. It was cleared, and we've been notified that the storm drainage on it has also been altered. So this was from the next door neighbor, just showing how the stormwater ditch in between the properties has been filled in, resulting in some pooling of water. So that concludes staff's report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for city staff from members of the board?
Yes, Ms. Lane. So in total, you said 26, and then you read that one, so we're at 27.
Yes, sir.
And 26 is directly in the neighborhood of South Oak?
That's correct.
Okay, and the one that you just read, she is across the
He's
street, but
immediately
not in
across
the
the street,
neighborhood?
across Green Acres.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. 27 in all.
Yes.
Any other questions for city staff from members of the board? All right, thank you very much. The board will now hear from the applicant. Is Ms. Maria Toledo here this evening? All right, yep. If you don't mind, just step up to the microphone. I'm going to swear you in. Just state your name clearly.
Maria Toledo.
Do you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
So our proposal was for 2 smaller homes to take advantage of the area. We were not aware that it was part of the
The kind of neighborhood as a whole?
yeah, as a
okay.
neighborhood. Yeah, because
Okay.
there was not really a sign that it was going to be part of the neighborhood, and also there was no restrictions when we bought the property. So that's why we were under the impression that we were going to be able to subdivide it by 2.
Do you remember when you bought the property?
It was about 2 months ago.
Okay. Okay. Because that is a unique, you can look at the city map and it literally goes right to that property, cuts around. So even when you bought it, it was in the city limits. So yeah, so the restrictions would have applied already for that.
So yeah,
yeah.
when we bought it, there was no listed restrictions on that particular lot.
It wouldn't have been listed, it would have just, you would have bought a piece of property within the city limits that's zoned NC 15, which would have, you would have had to find the rest of the regulations in there. But
Okay.
yeah, yes ma'am, yeah. It's not like a homeowners association where they list what you can and can't do,
Yes.
what you can and can't
And
park.
that's exactly what we were
Right.
looking for.
Yes, yes ma'am, yeah, yeah, but yeah. All right. Are there any other questions? Oh, I'm sorry, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or?
No.
Okay.
My husband is actually the builder, so
Okay.
I don't know if he has any more questions.
But just, wait, before you do that, though, let me get through with you first, and then we'll go.
Okay, yeah, no
Are
problem.
there any other questions for Ms. Toledo from members of the board?
No. Yes, sir, Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman.
go ahead, Mr. Preston.
It might be more appropriate to ask the builder, but my question is, why is one permitted resident not a reasonable use of this property?
Well, typically you don't need that much property for one home, especially for a single family home. Also, across the street, there's already other builders building with smaller lots even so. But I do understand that it's not part of that.
Are you referring to the newest neighborhood that they're?
Yes,
Okay.
right across the street, yes, sir.
Okay. And like Larry elaborated on as far as being in the city, the minimum square footage for each lot would be 15,000 square feet.
Yes, and
You clearly have it on one.
and then on the other one, we were only short just a few. I think it was maybe 4 or so square feet. So that's why we thought it was appropriate to ask.
944 square feet short. Yes, ma'am.
And y'all already put the building pads for 2 separate
Yes.
individual?
Yes, but everything was stopped because we were short just a few square feet.
Were y'all informed by codes enforcement, or was that?
No, we came to the city and spoke with them, and that's what they told us.
Right, okay, very well.
So we had to stop everything until we met with you guys.
And so you were trying to conform with other neighbors, having 2 lots that size as opposed to having one to fit that side of the street being South Oak, which, did you realize you were in South Oak?
No, we did not. We did not know when we purchased the property.
Right. Did you reach out to any neighbors when y'all purchased the property, kind of just go by and say,
No.
figuring on we're gonna build here, and need y'all's input?
Oh, no, we definitely didn't.
Any other questions for the applicant for members of the board?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
If this variance is denied, are y'all plans still to build one single-family house?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, very well. And with this house, is it concrete foundation or?
It would be more appropriate for my husband to answer, but with my knowledge, it would be a concrete.
And would it be the same square footage if you had two as opposed to just this one?
It would probably be slightly larger.
Slightly large for the
Yeah,
one?
for one, yes, but for two, it would be smaller.
Right. Okay, very well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
I do have one.
Go ahead, Ms. Gray.
So, you said it's gonna be on a slab. Is that a raised slab or
It would just be slab on grade.
did you kind of look at the other homes to see if they were?
Well,
raised
there's
or-
actually different types of homes with different yearly builds, so they're not all the same, really.
Let's hold our comments in the gallery down, and also let me remind the board that our concern here is just the variance request of the square footage. We're not looking at the aesthetics. I appreciate the concern, but let's stay focused. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Ms. Toledo.
Thank you.
And sir, if you don't mind stepping up. And just as before, just state your name clearly into the microphone.
Hey, my name is Eulalia Toledo.
All right, Mr. Toledo, do you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Yes, so I think what she was referring to on the parcels, when she came to the city, they said that they would take from one, whatever was the minimum, and add to the other. And I think they were short a little bit of square feet. And that's what the email that we got was, because we asked them to begin with before we did any of this.
Sure.
We asked them, what's the probability? She came up here and she asked that we can build two homes instead of one. She was told that she could subdivide the property into two properties and that potentially we could put two houses here. Whenever she came back and I said, just go double check with them before we start putting the dirt down.
Right.
And she did, she came and after doing the math and Nesbitt doing the surveying for us, they concluded that they were short a little bit of square footage. So that's when she was notified to do the appeal because it was such a small amount of square footage that potentially she could, you know, depending on what everyone decided, it could be added to the other parcel that was short.
Okay.
And that's how basically we're here.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Are there any questions for Mr. Toledo from members of the board?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
Were you informed then that this is part of a subdivision
We just heard from, I think it was the email that we got after.
after
come-
y'all applied?
After we applied and we came twice, I think she just got the email saying that it looked like it was part of the subdivision, but it was never notified to us. I mean, if it was notified to us to begin with, we wouldn't be here because we would have just basically we'd just build one house facing whatever road instead of having to be here because we wanted to build two homes. Because it was stated to us that it could be subdivided into two.
It was stated to you by the city staff?
By correct. Correct. Well, it says, correct. That's right. So that's why we're here, because if they would have said, whenever we showed up, if they would have said, Mr. Toledo, you can build one, or this is part of the neighborhood, or whatever their reasoning was, I wouldn't have spent money on doing everything that I did if I knew it wasn't gonna be possible. Because we normally like verifying before
Yes.
we actually do something.
Well, one way or another, the city would definitely have known the lot size, and it being under 15,000 square foot, they would have to ask for a variance to be requested in that aspect. And so did you give them a site plan, a survey of the
We gave
property
them the
already?
survey, yeah.
Just like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right here.
And which, one of them clearly states 14,095?
One of them states
56.
14, one of them states 15,541 and the other one states 1456.
Yes, sir. But you would clearly have to come get a variance for the 14,056 being in that zoning district as well as in the city.
And that was stated to us the second time we came. So the first time it was stated to us that we could subdivide the property. And we didn't know that there was a variance for whatever the square footage was. They told us the second time that we came, that's whenever they told us the variance was there. So that's when I was like, well, and worst case scenario, we can just build one house, but, you know, if they think that it's possible, that's what we're here.
Okay.
Yep.
What does it change, the way that you want to build this house as far as making it one house now that you're aware of, the situation?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they would've told me to begin with, whenever I purchased the property and I came the first time, like I said, we wouldn't be here having this conversation because we would've just faced the house whichever way they wanted. And then if it was, I know it's not HOA, but normally when we build in the HOA, they normally tell us what they want. So we go through an approval process, how you want the house facing, how you want it to look. Are the neighbors happy? Stormwater control, whatever the situation might be, but nothing was notified to us, so we figured no restrictions, nothing. Maybe we can make it into 2 lots and build 2 smaller homes and make it more affordable. So instead of me having to build a house that's worth $300,000 plus, we can build a house that's worth $200,000 and we can sell it quicker and we can put 2 families in there instead of 1. That was my point of view.
Well, would your intention be to focus on the, developing 1 lot, and now that you're aware of that, and we don't have to go through these proceedings as far as?
I mean, if that's what you guys decide, I mean, I'm
Just-
fine with it.
I was just asking your opinion now that you're aware of this, subdivision, as well as you would need a variance request granted.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, either or is really not a problem, and it's not necessarily about the profits, because we can build the house and technically still make the same profits with one. It's just basically that we're more, I guess, the way we build homes is we basically target more affordability. So we try to build a smaller lot, a smaller house that people can easily get approved for and they can easily buy. So instead of me having to put a house on the market that's going to be there for months because it's going to be worth $400,000 or $500,000, I can put a house that's going to be $200,000 and I can get someone to get approved and then move on to the next homes.
Well said.
Yep, because we're not in the market to build a custom home, a big home. We're more in the market to build like a 1,000 to 1,500, even 1,800, but no more than that square footage. It's just what works for us. And that's the reason why we purchased this property to begin with, because we figured there was potential for that. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, I have one question.
Go ahead, Ms. Moses.
Mr. Toledo, when you purchased that property, did you look at the other homes in that area?
Yes.
I mean, not knowing that you were a part of that development, did you still look at the other homes right there in your area?
Yeah, so the other homes, basically, in front of the property, there's homes, I guess, Green Acres, and then there's homes on Brick Ridge Circle. So whenever I looked at the property, my intention was to use the Green Acres road frontage instead of the Brick Ridge Circle. But we've even done work for that neighborhood in the back, but I didn't know that was basically part of that neighborhood, because I think the other lots are a little bit, I don't know if they're the same size, but I just didn't look at it that way.
Okay.
I was focused more of how these 2 houses can get road frontage to the other road.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions for Mr. Toledo from members of the board? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I understand we had a sign-in sheet going around. Do we know where that sign-in sheet is?
There were 3 of them, actually.
There were 3 of them. We have quite a plethora of sign-in sheets. Well, I was just gonna call them, or just honor system. I get, well. Gotta deal with it. Oh, wow. All right. All right. I'm just gonna go in order. Ron Bowser? Come on down, sir. If you don't mind, step up to the microphone.
I talk loud enough, probably don't need.
No, that's fine, no. My reasoning to do it, this is a quasi-legal hearing. Appeals from here go to the circuit court, which is why we swear you in.
Okay.
I know it seems kind of overkill, but you don't have to raise your hand. Do you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
I don't really have testimony. I just was seeing what's happening here. We saw my neighborhood all got together. And this really matters to us. There sits Miss Joanne. I could cry over this.
Right.
She broke her hip. She wasn't there. Austin's not here. Me, Austin, and his daddy David, we mowed her grass the whole time she's in the hospital. That's the kind of community we are.
Right.
There's the mayor, Ricky, he's in here. There's the mayor right there. There's Ricky. Okay, we're this super tight knit community, and all our houses look about the same. We all take care of our yards. Super important to us. And I know the financial gain or whatever, but I think it would kind of hurt our house, the property values in our area. And there's 60 people back in there if you could count the whole neighborhood,
Yes, sir.
approximately. So I just beg you, in your heart of hearts, there is a technicality they're stuck on that could make this so that our community can survive the way we want it. And we beg you to not break up our community. We love our community. I mean, there's nothing, anybody in our community needs something, we'd help you, right? Everybody. That's the way we are. So I implore you that they're stuck on a technicality, and they're stuck. But please don't see past that for the sake of our community. And that's all I can ask of you.
Thank you, sir. I'm assuming this is a relation of yours, Lynette Bowser? Yeah. Oh, good. You're still,
I'll state something first.
so you're going to speak on behalf of Lynette?
Everything,
Oh, okay.
everything.
Sorry.
My notebook here is filled with everything she just said. I didn't realize you were going to do that great of a job, and I appreciate it. But that was going to be my whole speech. So you guys got off light. Okay, so.
That's right. That's okay.
Chairman, our sign-in sheet is just for people in attendance. Everybody might not want to speak.
Oh, I thought this was people who wanted to speak.
Yeah, no, I think it's
Oh,
just folks that are here, so
Okay.
you might just want to ask for volunteers or representatives from the community.
That makes this a lot
Everybody
easier.
may not want to speak, yeah.
Outside of Mr. Bowser's comments, is there anybody else who wishes to be heard? Oh, Lynette? Okay. All right. We do marriage counseling here at the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Please, no.
Go ahead and state your name clearly to the microphone, ma'am.
My name is Lynette Bowser.
Do you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead.
So like most folks in the room, we've been in that house for 25 years, almost 30, 28. But first home we ever bought, original property we looked at in Florence, and it just so happened that it went on the market when we were going to buy something else. But we've been there, great neighborhood, great people, we all know each other, and, you know, I understand there's a profit to be gained in the way that it was looked at, but that is the entrance to our subdivision. So when you take that aesthetic away, you know, we've built our lives there. We have investments in property worth value as well, and I just think it will harm that property value and the aesthetics of that piece of subdivision. It's very old, it's very established, but again, I'd just like that to be taken into consideration.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, I think you were eager. Yes. Right. Please state your name clearly into the microphone.
Vicki Osborne,
All right, Ms. Osborne, do you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just going to read most of this to you, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Vicki Osborne, and I live at 3804 Breckenridge Circle. This is in South Oak 2 subdivision. We own the first two lots there, Lot 1 and 2. Our house was purchased in 1987, and our property is directly across the road from this proposed divided lot. And I'm here with my neighbors to ask you to deny the case BZA-2026-10. South Oak 2 subdivision was established in the mid-1970s, 74, 75. All the lots are zoned R1. That's one resident per lot. And as you can see on the plat, it's not up there now, that all of these lots are exceptionally large. The lot layout also shows the low density. I think the plat speaks for itself. The subdivision was established 50 years ago. There's 37 large, spacious lots, and 15 of those are 1 acre or more. Lot 2138 01 Breckenridge Circle is the corner lot, which is the 29,597 square feet, requesting to be divided, one being 15,541 square feet, and the other 14,056 square feet, needing a variance of 944 square feet. That's almost 1,000 square feet. This is definitely an incompatible lot for those two residents. There is absolutely no comparison to the lots in our subdivision if it's divided. This lot was annexed into the city, and I think she said she didn't remember when it was, but I got information on it at some point along the line that it was 2001.
Okay.
But it still remains in the South Oak 2 subdivision. And like Lynette said, it's the entrance to our subdivision, and it would immensely change the well-established neighborhood character and devalue all properties. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Osborne. Yeah. Is there anybody else who wishes to add something? Yes, sir. Same as before, just step up to the microphone. Just state your name clearly, sir.
Richard Clark.
Mr. Clark, you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, sir.
I've been out there longer than anybody out there, I think. I think I moved in 81. And the houses we have out there, you don't see people selling houses and moving out. Everybody moves in, they stay. And these two homes that they planning on building there, my neighbor over here, I went up there and looked at the lot. In his yard, he won't have from here to that chair there, you know, backyard. No privacy. His privacy be gone. All right. They building these houses for sale. You don't know who's gonna move in them. And everybody else, I know down the street where we live, they building about 500 of these houses. They went in there and cleaned all the land out. Out here, Tracy's golf course, they're doing it everywhere. And I don't think it is necessary for us to have to give up our privacy for things that people are going to move in and move out. I don't think that. I don't think anybody else in here wants that. And it's like you said, it's a neighborhood thing. Everybody, when you buy, you stay.
Right.
Until you, I reckon, go out like that.
Yes, sir.
But I know that's where I'm going to go. But I think we would appreciate it. You know, y'all take a serious look at what's going to happen out there and change the whole atmosphere of our neighborhood. It's a community thing, what it is. And everybody knows everybody. And that's all I got to say. And I just hope y'all take that into consideration.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. I think we've heard a fair amount of opposition to this, and we do have the petition that was signed in record. Outside of anything that's already been said, is there anybody who wishes to add anything different? Oh. Go ahead, sir. And Mr. Chilita, I'm gonna get you in a second, sir. All right, go ahead, sir. State your name clearly.
Paul Crosby.
All right, Mr. Crosby, you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. And just for the record, I do know Mr. Crosby. He and I worked together decades ago, and I know his wife, so, but I don't think that's going to sway opinion either way.
Full disclosure.
Full disclosure, yes, sir. All right, go ahead, sir.
So, echoing everything that's already been said, obviously it's shared by everybody here. It's shared by, I'm sure, people that were unable to attend. It isn't a question of aesthetics. There's a question of lifestyle, quality of life, and an environment that transcends zoning, profit, all of that. With that said, I'd like to point out, with that lot, just to state, our property is directly across Green Acres Road from this property. Our access is onto Green Acres. I take my life in my hands every time I drive out of my driveway because it exits onto Green Acres, has exits on Breckenridge, but the drive doesn't go through. If that is if a house is built on that and does not have access from Breckenridge Road, it's a safety hazard. If it's subdivided into two houses, God forbid, and there's two accesses on Breckenridge, it's twice of the hazard.
Right.
So I just wanted to make that observation and echo what's already been said.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crosby. All right. All right. Mr. Toledo? Go ahead, sir. You've already been sworn in, so you're good.
I just wanted to add that I understand everybody here, and if someone would have informed me whenever I came over here the first time, or informed my wife about this whole situation, we wouldn't be here. Because I own a house too, and I wouldn't want someone to do the same thing to me, to just come and build beside me or whatever.
Right.
If that was informed to me whenever I spoke with my realtor about buying this property, about splitting it up and doing everything, this wouldn't be happening.
Sure.
Because the last thing I want to do is bother people that live in that community.
Right.
So that being said, I am not gonna build two homes. I don't want to bother no one.
Okay.
The amount of money that I'm gonna make from this project is not that serious for me to be not necessarily defending something, but there's really nothing to defend, because if going back to the beginning, if I was informed correctly that this, they could have just told me, you know what, this property can't be subdivided, meaning that this property belongs to this neighborhood, then I'm not that dumb to know that if I want to develop a house, it would be a house and it would look the same,
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So just so everybody's on the same page, I don't want to bother nobody. It's not my intention to be like the people across the street. What we do, we basically build tiny homes and smaller homes that are affordable to other people, and we figured this could be a good place to put them. And even though if there's a technicality or whatever, I don't want to pursue this project. I don't want to build two homes. I will build one home, and I hope that you guys have something for me, because there's nothing for me that since it's not a HOA, there's not approval that I have to go through. There's nothing. So just, I guess I don't know if it's on your side or their side, but there just has to be clarity. But I think that's the last parcel that was available on that whole neighborhood, so they shouldn't have this problem. But just for future reference,
Sure.
normally, when a builder purchases a property, they look at all these things, and then, if there's a technicality, then
Right.
that's really not my fault. But I'm not really trying to bother anybody, and that's not my intention.
Well, I can answer the second part easy. If your intention is to withdraw this variance request and just build one house on that lot, then when you submit your permit, the city, because it's a city property, will say yea or nay based on the square footage, your setback lines, and everything else. So that will be your guideline as to what can or cannot be built.
Perfect.
As far as the first part, if you're saying that you want to withdraw this variance request, meaning you don't want us to vote yea or nay.
No, I don't want you to vote because I don't
Okay.
want to build two homes.
Okay.
I don't want you guys, because it's a technicality. I don't want to put you guys in that spot, and I don't want to.
That's why they pay us the big bucks. It's okay.
To begin with, I don't want
That'll
to
get us
bother
there.
no one over here, because if someone would have came up to me and told me that,
Right.
whenever we started, I guess, whenever we subcontracted out to Clear, that same day it could have been solved.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Sure. Yeah, you heard that, right?
Time and a half.
This is unique.
Yeah,
This is
you're
unique though, but that's all right. That's all right.
Wow. This is a first.
We need to have citizens from the county at the city more often. They're nice. All right. So if the applicant is withdrawing his request, how do we proceed?
Do they just vote to accept the withdrawal?
Yeah, you could formalize it through accepting the withdrawal.
Okay.
That would be sufficient, probably a little overkill, but I think that would cover everything.
I'd rather dot our Ts and cross our Is while we're at it. All right. So I make a proposal that we honor the applicant's request to withdraw this variance request.
I'll second.
I have a second by Mr. Poston. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? Ayes have it. The variance request is withdrawn.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask something for the applicant?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Mr. Toledo, I just wanted to add, don't view this as an opposition to investing in Florence. Just use this as an opportunity to evaluate compliant development and especially incorporate neighbors that are in your building area. It doesn't take too much to go next door and introduce yourself and look around established neighborhoods and build what they like. And we're all community, and please continue to build in Florence. We do need affordable housing.
Well said, well said.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you so much.
The house out with that property, it's in the city, right?
Yes, sir.
Got city sewage. Has got city sewage, your property?
Yes.
Y'all got city sewage?
Side of the road.
I didn't know, I just asked, because I know I had.
We're so close.
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
good.
All right, that concludes that hearing. We have two more after this. You guys are more than welcome to stick around, but I understand if the mayor wants y'all to leave, y'all gotta leave. That's right. Hey, Paul. Good, my friend. Good to see you too. Hey, Fran, I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, the Lawrence lot. Yeah, good luck trying to get that.
You too. Thank you, guys.
Hey, well done, Larry.
Yeah, oh, we gotta get him out of here.
That was beautiful.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have another hearing. Y'all can have your neighborhood meeting outside.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. Take care.
you.
Take care.
I've been out there 40 years,
All right, Mr. Clark.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Take care.
Thank
Y'all
you
be
for
good.
showing up.
Take care. Yep. All right. Next items on this evening's agenda is BZA hearing number 2026-11. Request for a variance from the setback requirements for an accessory structure. Location is 1767 Marsh Avenue, tax map number 90041-08-013. Owner of record is Patricia Bacchus and Denise Abraham. Applicant is Denise Abraham. Zoning district is NC 15. The board will now hear from city staff.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
This is located at the corner of Marsh Avenue and West Sandhurst Drive, and it is a single-family house, and it is zoned NC 15, as is everything around it. The request is to put a small shed in the backyard, and because of the configuration of the backyard, which you can see in this site plan, the requirement is that it be 10 feet off of the side and rear property lines, but she wants to put it 3 feet from there. As you can see, the next door neighbor to the north has one right along the property line, and then it would back up to the driveway of the neighbor behind her. So, but this is what the standards say, that the interior side setback has to comply with the principal building setback, which is 10 feet for the NC 15 district. And then the rear setback is 5 feet for buildings less than 10 feet in height, but 10 feet for all other buildings. And this one, I believe, is about 11 or 12 feet tall, so it fell under that 10-foot rear setback requirement. So without the variance, she is limited regarding where she can place it. The purpose of the setback requirements is to prevent the construction of structures too close to neighboring properties, but the next door neighbor already has the accessory structure within a few feet of the common property line, and the shape of the house and carport limits the space available to place anything in the backyard. And because this is a corner lot, they have limited options for placing the shed where it'll be inconspicuous and not readily visible from the street. They are still permitted to have an accessory building, but it would end up being, if they did the 10 feet, it would be pretty much in the middle of the backyard. And then the same configuration that limits the area available will also shield it from public view. It would be visible from the rear yards of the immediately adjacent properties, but not really from either Sandhurst or Marsh Avenue, because it would largely be behind a brick shed that's attached to the carport. And you'll be able to see that in a moment. So these are site photos. The one on the lower left that's where the building would be. That's what it would look like as you're driving down Marsh Avenue. You really wouldn't see it because there's some shrubbery in the way. And then from Sandhurst, it would be behind that brick shed attached to the carport, about where that white building is. Here's the back of the brick carport, and then the area that's been cleared for it. And as you can see, the neighbor's shed is right up next to it as well. So it wouldn't even really be visible from that neighbor because they've got their own fence and shed. So that concludes staff's report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for city staff from members of the board?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Go, Ms. Wilson.
Elaine, so the only compliant location is in the middle of the yard, like you stated, 10
That's
feet
correct,
from the rear?
yes.
Okay. And their opposition to that is, would it take up?
It would just be awkwardly located, yeah. It would reduce the usable space left over in that part of the yard.
We've had a case like this before where I think codes enforcement was called in. A neighbor complained about how close it was. So my question to you, will this 3-foot setback, will it create any type of drainage issues, maintenance, or any runoff or anything that would impact the neighbors?
I wouldn't really think so because, like I said, it would be close to the shed that the neighbors have, and theirs also, they'd be kind of competing. And then on the other side at the rear, it's up against a driveway, a concrete driveway. So it would not affect any structures.
Was there any opposition from the neighborhood?
I haven't heard from anybody.
Nobody. Okay, very well. Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions for city staff from members of the board? No? All right, thank you very much. The board will now hear from the applicant. Is Denise Abraham available? Okay. Just like with everybody else, just state your name clearly into the microphone right here.
Yes, I'm Denise Abraham, and I live with my aunt Patricia Backus, so I submitted the application.
Okay, hold on one second.
Okay.
Do you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, ma'am. Go ahead.
So if it can't be approved for the 3 feet, 10 feet is fine. Because we need the space.
Okay,
So we're consolidating 2 homes, so we
Oh,
have a lot of our stuff in storage.
Right.
So we need the space, so 10 feet is fine.
Wow.
That's all I have to say. I mean,
so you're willing to withdraw your request?
no, I wanted to know if it could be approved, but if not, then the 10 feet will be fine. If it's not approved, then we'll just have to do the 10
Okay,
feet.
so you're fine either way is what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay. Are there any questions for the applicant from members of the board?
If you,
Go ahead, Ms. Moses.
if you go the 10 feet, how close will you be to that that fence that's in the back? Will you two be, close together? Will there be any separation between you and the neighbor's shed?
Where there's separation now. So it'll just come up a little bit more, and like they said, you can see it from the street when you're passing by on Sandhurst. It'll be almost in the middle of the backyard.
Okay.
I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
It would essentially kind of move out more into this area here a little bit more.
Yeah.
It would have to move 10 feet away from the side property line and the rear property line.
Correct, yes.
Any other questions for the applicant for members of the board?
Yes. There was something I read in here. I just want to make sure. Was it that you would screen if you were allowed to have it 3 feet from the backyard? Was there something out of landscaping or screening or anything that you would provide?
I don't understand, you mean screening?
No, I think I just made the comment that it would be naturally screened because of existing trees and shrubbery and
Thank
the brick carport.
Thank you. So it's already naturally screened.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. She answered the question. Thank
Okay.
you.
I can sit down?
Any other questions? All right. Thank you, Ms. Abraham.
Okay, you're welcome.
Is there anybody else who wishes to be heard either for or against this variance request? Yes, sir. All right. Just state your name clearly into the microphone, sir.
My name's Terry Clements.
All right, Mr. Clements, do you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, sir.
I seen the sign in the front yard over there, and the lady right back here is the lady that lives right beside her. Well, she's trying to clarify. She's trying to really work with her on that because she understands she needs a shed.
Sure.
Is that orange spot, how big is the shed? I mean, is it a 10 by 10? What is it?
It's a 12 by 12.
It's a 12 by 12.
11 foot tall.
11 feet tall, so that's why they said, if it's
Right.
over 10 feet, you have to request a variance.
Yeah, and that'll be up to her there, but she's maybe, and am I speaking out of line, you know, she said instead of 3 feet, maybe just 5 foot, because she's got her shed, she's made it into a she shed, and she's gonna put a window outside. She'd like to have a little bit of a viewing area.
I got you.
But to help accommodate her too, because she knows she just moved in.
Sure.
Not trying to be ugly or anything, but she needs a shed to put stuff in too.
Right.
And I think if it's okay with her, she would allow you 5
I have
foot.
a question. I've never seen her before, so you're talking about the house next to us?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so we came here kind of blind. I met you walking in, and I said, I don't even know what it's about. I just come to see. But I think it's the one about, I know she wants a shed, and it's like a 10 by 12. If that's okay with her and them two to work that out, let it be 5 foot off thing, so that gives her more view, and she's gonna put a window there, I think that would work out the situation here. I don't think she'd be,
So you want to put a shed, a window in the back where the shed is now? On our side? On the fence side. Yeah, so you want to put a window there? Yes. Yeah.
she'd want to put a window, you know, her building's there, and then you got the fence that separates her property. She'd want to put a window there. So if you just went instead of 3 foot off, 5 foot over, and then did your 10 by 12, you still get your shed out there.
5 feet is fine. I don't have.
Oh, well, it's better, because you said 10 foot would be okay, but she's going halfway.
Well, I just wanted to prove, that's why I said.
Oh, okay. Does that help explain it any?
No, but yes. But no, the good news is we can put variables in our either approval or denial of variance request.
Right.
And so we can fumble with some language to make it accommodate wherever you put this thing. So,
Okay,
yeah,
she
we
just
can
didn't
figure
know
something out.
She
if
didn't know how
approved.
big or anything, and it said she didn't
Right.
want it to be right up against her, so.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm just the third wheel in this thing, so.
That's all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Clements. Is there anybody else who wishes to be heard either for or against this variance request? All right.
Mr. Chairman, just to clarify,
Yes, sir.
are we gonna be voting for a 3 foot or 5 foot, or that'll be worked out?
We can put whatever regulations we want to put on there as far as distance, but right now, we have to vote on the request that's in front of us,
Within 10 feet?
within 10 feet.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Well, the request was for 3.
I'm sorry, yes, you're right.
But you can
Say
say,
within
you can
10
make the
feet.
motion to be 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So the actual variance request is a 3-foot variance, but we can amend it to say,
And the setback is from the side and the rear. So-
Right.
So both are in play.
So you can make the motion to be 5 feet from side and rear. You don't have to
sure.
vote on the 3 feet and then redo. You can amend it.
May I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am,
Now,
go ahead.
if they change it to that 5 feet, will the shed be closer to the house?
Be-
It'll be closer to the storage house. It
To
won't be
the s-
close to the actual house.
Okay.
It'll be closer to the storage house. But
The
we
little-
still have enough room to open the door.
Just to clarify, it'll be closer to this brick little.
Right.
Yeah, it'll be this little, the actual main little storage shed on the carport.
Okay.
So, yeah, what you're thinking of is the house.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah. And you will be accessible, I mean, the door, when you open the door, it'll be accessible, you will have no trouble opening and closing the door? Okay, okay.
That's at 5 feet, right?
Any other questions from members of the board?
This is number 11.
All right. So just to clarify, whomever makes the variance proposal, if you want to approve it, we can have the language state 3 to 5 feet variance from the side and rear setbacks. That'll give the applicant, if approved, give the applicant and the neighbor some space in which to work.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve for a 5-foot variance from the rear setback line, and based upon finding the following finding of facts.
Wait, hold on one second, Mr. Poston. Let's clarify your proposal to include rear and side
Oh, I'm
setbacks.
so
No, you're
sorry.
fine. You're
Rear
fine.
setback
And side.
and side,
Yes, sir.
5 foot.
Yes, sir.
Thank
If that's
you,
your
Mr. Chairman.
proposal, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That is my proposal to approve based on those 5.
Thank you, sir.
That a variance with the following finding of facts, that a variance from the terms of the Unified Development Ordinance will not be contrary to the public interest where owing to special conditions, a literal enforcement of the provisions will, in this individual case, result in unnecessary hardship, and that the configuration of the existing house, carport, and corner lot substantially limits the practical placement options for the accessory structure within the rear yard. Number 2, that the spirit of the Unified Development Ordinance will be observed, public safety and welfare secured, and substantial justice done because the proposed accessory structure remains residential in nature, is limited in size, and the setback relief request will allow reasonable use of the property while maintaining compatibility with surrounding residential development. Number 3, that there are extraordinary and exceptional condition pertaining to the particular piece of property, namely the corner lot configuration together with the placement of the existing residence and perpendicular carport significantly reduces usable backyard area. Number 4, that these conditions do not generally apply to other properties in the vicinity, and that the layout and configuration of this lot create limitations that are not typical of surrounding residential parcels. Number 5, that because of these conditions, the application of the Unified Development Ordinance to this particular property would effectively prohibit or unreasonably restrict the utilization of the property by requiring the accessory building to be placed in an impractical and intrusive location within the middle of the usable backyard area. And number 6, that the authorization of a variance will not be a substantial detriment to adjacent property or to public good, and the character of the district will not be harmed by the granting of the variance because the proposed shed will be substantially screened by existing improvements and landscaping, will have limited visibility from public streets, and is not expected to materially impact adjacent properties of neighborhood character.
All right, thank you, Mr. Poston. Do we have a second?
I second.
Thank you, Ms. Moses and Ms. Gregg. All those in favor signify, all those in favor of granting the variance request signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. The variance request is approved. Thank you very much. And next item on this evening's agenda is BZA hearing number 2026-12. Request for a variance from the setback requirements for accessory structures. Location is 4021 West Eagle Street, tax map number 00052-02-009. Owner of record is Dwight Jenkinson. Applicant is Dwight Jenkinson. Zoning district is Residential General 3. Board will now hear from city staff.
All right. This is very similar to the last request. This is in Summit at Oakdale subdivision, and this is the lot on Eagle Street. It backs up to land right now that is not developed, but will be in the future. It had a small shed on it before, but the new owner wants to replace it with a larger one. This is what the site plan looks like. He is going for the 5 feet, is requesting the 5 feet. The side setback already is 5 feet because of the zoning district. Because it is also 11 feet tall and exceeds that 10 feet, it would be required to have a 10-foot rear setback. And it would be even more, take over the backyard with that extra 5 feet. So he is also requesting a 5-foot rear setback. So, again, the same standards as before, and without the variance, he's severely limited regarding where he can place it. And the purpose is to prevent the construction of structures too close to neighboring properties. The size of the house and lot limits the space available to place anything in the backyard. All the lots in this neighborhood are small with larger houses on them. And the applicant could still have an accessory building, but he would end up with it in the middle of the backyard, basically. And allowing it 5 feet from the rear property line will only directly affect the property behind the lot, which is currently undeveloped. And he also plans to install a fence in the future, which will shield it from view as well. So here's some photos of the house and the backyard. And as you can see, the neighbors generally have fences as well, and he would be adding his own. And there's nothing behind him at the moment, so. So that concludes staff's report.
All right. Thank you very much. Are there any questions for city staff from members of the board? And just to clarify, this variance request is just for the rear setback?
That's correct.
Okay, okay.
Yes, Ms. Elaine, any neighbors, anybody reached out?
I haven't heard from anybody.
And same question, I mean, 5 foot, that's a lot further than 3 as opposed to runoff or anything else. You
I wouldn't
foresee
foresee
that
any
being a
issue
problem?
with it, no. And if whatever is built behind him, that would probably be its backyard and not the house itself either.
Oh, that's fantastic, okay. And you mentioned, is he gonna build a fence? Did he,
He has mentioned that he intends to put a fence around the yard eventually as well.
thank you, Ms. Lane.
Any other questions for city staff for members of the board? All right, thank you very much. The board will now hear from the applicant, Mr. Jenkinson. If you don't mind, sir, same as before, just step up to the mic, state your name clearly. And thank you very much for your patience, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Dwight Jenkinson.
Do you promise that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm requesting this because well, first of all, I don't understand why you have to have a 10-foot setback on the back of the property because the building is over 10 feet tall when the top of my house is about 32 feet from the ground. So, I mean, it's kind of a moot point, but all I'm trying to do is have it where it's far enough back so that I'm not stepping off the patio into my building. The building I'm putting back there is going to be, my hobby is woodworking.
Okay.
And that's what I use it for. I had a building similar to it in Charleston before we moved back to Florence. I'm not invading Florence. I'm originally from Florence. Born at 9:30 in the morning on a Wednesday at July 5th, 1950 in McLeod Infirmary. Okay?
Oh, wow. Happy early birthday, sir.
Yeah. And I also graduated from McClinigan High School, which no longer exists. But now we came back to Florence because my daughter and her husband and 2 grandchildren were transferred to Florence, and they're 1,500 feet from where I'm living now.
Nice.
So,
Congratulations.
and there's a proud grandmother that's raised them both. All I'm asking for is it's kind of vague where the real property line is on the back, because I think my actual property marker on one side we can find, the other one we really can't find, but there appeared to be a small drainage ditch between my property and the property behind it, which the sod runs to the drainage ditch. Where I'm going to put the building, if you're going from where that drainage ditch is, would be 7 feet from the back property line, not 5. And I have a neighbor on both sides that have buildings, and one of them is over 10 feet tall and is not 10 feet from the back line. It's about 6 feet, because I can tell the section of the fence is 8 feet sections.
Right.
And hers is about 6 feet in, if that much, which doesn't bother me. None of my neighbors have complained. They all know I'm gonna put a building. And as soon as I get the building in, because we're going to use that vacant property back there to pull the building in assembled, and then I'm gonna put a fence up.
Okay. All right. Any questions from the applicant, from members of the board?
Yes, Mr. Cheney, or Chairman Cheney, so from the aerials, you already have a storage unit there?
No, sir, I had it removed and sold.
Ah, gotcha, okay. Okay, and you were getting another one, and
It was only 8 by 12. The building I had in Charleston was 10 by 16, and I overran it with the equipment that I have for doing woodworking.
and the neighbor you pointed out has one just as close to the fence, is if you're looking at your house to the left?
I can show you a picture of it.
Yes, sir, no, we have aerials. Derek, if you put it up there, you can clearly see it, and it is an old
House to the
aerial.
left.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, if you're looking at your house to the left. Okay, very well.
That is definitely not 10 feet from the back line setback.
Yes, sir.
That's the one on my lot, that's the old building, which it basically was, I don't know why anybody bought a building that small, to be honest with you.
And so your intention would be to, regardless, Ms. Elaine did say that more than likely that would be the backyard of somebody else, but you indicated you'd be putting a fence.
Well, I understand somebody's trying to put commercial property back there, but I don't want commercial property on my back line.
I think it's zoned, is it zoned commercial?
No.
It's all- Oh, okay. Ms. Elaine said it is zoned residential, so they'd have to go through a whole process to even try. And
I hope
that
they
would
don't
give you
want
a
to put apartment
great
complex
opportunity to
back
come
there
forward.
either.
Yes.
Meters is already a raceway.
Yes, it is.
We've contacted the county on that, because it's, apparently Meters is county and not city.
Any other questions for the applicant from members of the board? All right, thank you, sir. Is anybody else who wishes to be heard either for or against this variance request? All right. There being none, the chair will now entertain a motion to either approve or deny this variance request.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve BZA -2026